Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today,
Your
kid?
voice is very sexy today.
Yeah, I thought I got through it yesterday, and I woke up today, and I should just go home.
Do you have COVID?
All right, see you later.
Be honest with me.
No, I've taken 3 tests.
All right, good.
I still can't taste anything, though.
Oh, jeez, really?
Yeah, I hate to admit that, but
We
it's
had
true.
a big lunch together.
Couldn't taste
We
anything.
ordered so much food. You're telling me you didn't taste any of
Yeah,
that?
I did it for you guys. Can't taste, can't smell.
Oh, my
nothing.
God. Isn't that a sign of COVID?
Yes, it is. But I don't have COVID. I took another test this morning.
Great.
Tonight, you never know.
Oh, great.
Never know. Certainly possible. You never know. I saw something today that, frankly, disgusted me.
What's that?
It disgusted me.
What?
Well, 2 things, actually, now that I think about it. 2 things took place today that disgusted me. Do you want to go door number 1 or door number 2, knowing I'm going to give you both?
Yeah, I'd go with door number 2, the one that just
All right.
popped into your head second. What was
Door
that?
number 2.
What was that?
We took the guys out for lunch today. Went to a Dorley, great pizza place and restaurant right here in Tribeca.
Yeah.
We got wings, 2 kinds of wings, buffalo wings and chicken marsala wings. I assume they're delicious. I can't taste anything. All right?
Right.
But I did eat them. I look across the table, and Big Mac, why don't you tell the audience what we saw?
Yeah, I was disgusted as well with what we saw.
Yeah,
I looked over.
Disgusted.
Disgusted. As soon as the wings were put on the table, everyone went and got some, including Evan. And I
Yep.
look over to see how Evan is eating his wings.
Yeah.
And he is using a fork and knife.
Damn right I am.
Yeah, fork and knife
Yeah, damn
on
right I
buffalo
am.
wings.
Because I
Who are you?
I don't understand. And I'll take the L for most of the audience. That's fine. I'm who I am.
I'm putting that poll up.
I don't understand why it's enjoyable to put your hands on these bones, stick it up to your mouth.
That's what we do.
You make a
Yeah.
colossal mess. You got to go back to your napkin every time. I'm wearing a beautiful, nice shirt today.
Nice shirt.
I
yes.
didn't want to make a mess.
Come on.
So I wanted the chicken because I think it tastes good, but the last thing I wanted to do was grab it with my hand, get all dirty, and so I failed, but I attempted to kind of cut it with a knife.
And then Evan goes, gosh, it's so hard to get the meat off the wing.
It is.
Yeah, using a fork and knife,
No.
of course it is.
This is why I order boneless. That's what he said.
That's what I
Yeah.
said, yeah, because I own that. This is why I go boneless.
That's not a wing. That's a tender.
Is it the same meat, though?
No, it's not.
Similar. You're eating the chicken. I want to eat the chicken. I'm not here to work. I'm here to eat. Why do you like working when you eat? I don't get
Dude,
that.
you can't eat chicken wings with a fork
You're
and a
right.
knife.
And that's why
I'm sorry.
That's why I don't order chicken wings. But when you were kind enough to order all these different chicken wings,
Yes.
of course I wanted to eat it. I'm
Yeah,
hungry.
yeah.
So I've got to adjust. I got to adapt. And my adaptation at first was, let me attempt to use a fork and knife.
So me and
Once
Big
that
Mac-
failed, I stuck it in my mouth.
Me and Big Mac, we were gnawing on the bone.
Oh,
we're
of
eating
course.
wings like wings are supposed to be eaten. And I look across and I get Big Mac's attention. I'm like,
I thought I brought the attention upon myself when I did make the comment.
No.
Hey, Big Mac. Hey,
No.
Craig. Why the hell do people like to
No.
order wings? This
No, we
boggles
were
my mind.
mocking
We were
you
like-
silently for a good 3 or 4 minutes
Oh,
before
were
you
you?
said anything.
we were
Yeah,
like,
fine.
what in the world is this guy doing right
Dude,
now that he's got a fork and a knife out trying to eat chicken wings?
I got to tell you, man.
Audience, call in now. 877-337-6666.
I really hate the idea
Of what?
picking the wing up
No,
and
you
having
don't.
to chew it off a bone. I hate
Come
it.
on, stop.
I don't want to chew it off a bone. I'm not an animal, damn it.
You use a fork and knife for your father-in-law's burritos or quesadillas.
No, that's different.
Right, you pick it up.
I'm not eating off a bone. I've got to maneuver my teeth around the bone. Why do I want to deal with that?
Maneuver my
Yes,
teeth
yes.
around the bone.
Why do I want to work, man? I don't want to work. I want to eat the chicken.
Yeah,
If it was
okay.
up to me, I would have gone boneless. I would have.
Okay, so that's the first thing that disgusted me today.
Yeah.
The second thing that disgusted me today, I saw some of the highlights of this congressional, what's it called, the Oversight Committee?
Yes.
Okay.
I was glued to this. The Washington Post was airing it. It was the House
Yeah.
Oversight and Reform Committee holding a hearing in which Roger Goodell was the only witness. I loved it.
So
yeah.
Roger, in theory, this was all about the business practices and the allegations of improper workplace harassment, et
Yes.
cetera, for the former Washington Redskins, now the Washington Communists, whatever the Commodores, whatever the hell they're called.
Commanders.
Right? Commanders, right. All right, great.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm watching these videos, all right? And there's some representative, I never heard the guy before, but he's from New England, who goes on a 5-minute speech about how much he loves Tom Brady and asking the commissioner of the NFL about deflated footballs, right? Jim Jordan, very well-known representative, he comes out and asks the commissioner about Barstool and Dave Portnoy.
Yes.
Great for them, obviously, right?
Yes.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm sorry I feel this way, but I do. All right? These are our elected officials. We're in a bad place right now in this country. Crime, recession, inflation, gas prices, questionable president, and on and on and on, right? And they're wasting our time interviewing the commissioner of the NFL about Roger Goodell and made, frankly, a circus out of it. And I'm sitting there going, what are you going to do about the $5 gallon of gas?
Oh, they're going to suspend the federal gas tax holiday.
What are you going to do about the violence in the streets? And I know that makes me an old guy, and I respect that.
It's the one thing I'll say is,
what the hell are we doing?
I think that when people say that, it's good red meat, because who would disagree with you? Those things are much more important. But it also implies that we can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Because that kind of theory means we shouldn't do anything else but focus on those issues.
Here's my question.
So that's why I understand what you're saying, but I don't love when people make that comment because it's an easy red meat comment. We can walk and chew gum at the same time.
The commissioner of the NFL should not be in front of our elected officials discussing the business practices of the Washington football team.
Yeah, but you know why he was there? Supposedly.
Why was he there?
And I just want to explain this.
Yeah.
Because their thought was that it would shed light on how new legislation needs to be passed to protect employees in other businesses. Now, I'm not saying...
This was a clown show is what it was.
Well, but you gave examples of where it's a clown show.
Yeah.
When Roger Goodell is asked point blank about Daniel Snyder and is pushed on, should he own a football team right now, I think there's more validity to that.
But that's not up for Congress or the House.
No.
I mean, who cares?
Well... Who cares?
Like,
Should Daniel Snyder own the Washington football team?
That's not. My elected representative shouldn't have a take on that.
No. It's not as important as those other issues. But if it is going to lead to legislation that helps out other employees, and I don't think it will lead to that.
No,
because I do think it's a dog and pony show, and a lot of our elected officials turned it into a dog and pony show.
They embarrassed themselves.
When you ask about, but there's two things you're conflating. When you ask about Dave Portnoy, as funny as that is,
yes,
that's doing no one anything.
And by the way, I think it's great for Dave and for Barstool.
Great for Dave.
Awesome.
And he released a statement already.
As he should have, and I would play that up for the rest of my life.
When you ask about Deflategate, of course, that's a dog and pony show. But when you're talking about the unethical business practices of the Washington football team and maybe the embarrassment that the league faces leads to changes, you could argue some good can come out of that, even if it's not as important as other issues facing our country.
I guess. I mean, I don't think anything's going to come out of it, but in theory,
I agree with you.
If that's the end goal, that you make the workplace environment nationwide on publicly traded companies better, safer, more inclusive, all that, great. I don't think that's going to happen.
I agree.
I think we embarrassed ourselves.
I agree it's not going to happen.
And it pisses me off.
I agree it's not going to happen, but it's also not fair to use a jackass congressman who asks about Dave Portnoy or something else unrelated and say, see, the whole thing's a sham. Yeah, because there were questions related to Daniel Snyder, which was the point of this whole thing.
You had an elected official today going on for about 3 or 4, maybe 5 minutes, talking about Tom Brady.
Yeah, I know. But
called him the real Tom Shady.
But did you hear what I just said?
Yes, I did hear what you said.
That shouldn't take away from the other things.
But it does. You know it does.
No, I know it does.
Because that gets the attention.
Because that person's a grandstanding jackass.
Right. I think we took a step backwards today as a country. That's what I think. And I'm not a political guy at all. I don't even know who the guy is.
But Craig,
I don't know if he's Republican, Democrat. I don't care what he is.
Craig,
we took a step back.
When they called
it's embarrassing.
When they called Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa and Kurt Schilling in front of the United States Congress a decade and a half ago, everyone could make the same argument.
I did.
And you probably did.
Yeah.
This is stupid. Why are we focusing on this? Here's the one thing you can't deny. Did it change Major League Baseball forever?
Yes.
Yeah. because
Yeah.
they embarrassed Major League Baseball enough to where now there is a rigid testing policy. Was that as important as the war on terrorism? No. No one's suggesting it was.
Right.
But you have to admit that there are times when they do these grandstanding exercises that it actually does lead to some kind of change. And if Daniel Snyder is forced out as the owner of the Washington football team, which I think is like a universal bipartisan agreement because he's a clown, he's a bad guy, he's a terrible owner, he is accused of sexually harassing employees and leading a toxic environment, then I think the league would be better off. And if this embarrassment leads to that, is that a good thing?
Yeah, I guess, listen, if you get rid of bad people, it's always a good thing for sure. I'm watching this say to myself, this is the problem. Right here, I'm looking at the problem. That's the problem. It's a clown show. And I know this makes me the old guy yelling on the lawn. I don't want to come across that way. But I'm watching it going to myself, when that guy went on that 3-minute Tom Brady diatribe, and I'll play it for you.
It was
See if you can give it to the guys. I said to Evan, I go, you've got to be bleeping me.
No, I agree.
You've got to be kidding me, right? We just sent $2 billion to Ukraine. Gas is $5 a gallon. I can't walk across the street without getting attacked. And this moron, as an elected official, wasted taxpayer dollars talking about how much he wants the you-know-what, Tom Brady. Like, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. And again, I don't even know who the guy is. I don't know his name. I don't know where he's from. I don't know who the hell he is. But that was bad.
Do you think Roger Goodell's in trouble? He lied.
No.
He perjured himself. When he said he didn't know who Dave Portnoy was, I mean, that was a lie. He asked him
Well, he
who
didn't
Dave Portnoy
exactly
is.
say that.
He said, I don't know anything about that.
I'm unfamiliar with that situation.
Dave Portnoy.
The banning of Dave.
Dave Portnoy won an auction to watch a football game, I think, with Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
And then the league said, nah, forget it.
Right.
So obviously he has an idea who he is. So he lied. He perjured himself. He Rafael Palmero'd right in front of the United States Congress. Your thoughts?
By the way, Tom, if you want to call Dave and put him on, I'll put him on today. Yeah, I'm good with that. You have his number or no? You need his number? All right, good. Get his
That's got to be one of his proudest moments.
Yeah, I think it's great. Like, if I'm Dave, I'm loving it.
Do you think Roger
I'm loving every bit of
Goodell,
it.
when he agreed to meet with this committee, Daniel Snyder did, and he came up with some lame excuse, some business, a meeting he had in France. I mean, the guy's a liar, so I think we all know that. But when Roger Goodell said, you know what, I'm going to meet with you guys, and he's preparing. He's saying, okay, here's how I'm going to answer this. Here's how I'm going to answer that. Do you think during his prep, he thought he was going to be asked about banning Dave Portnoy?
I think there's two things, the things I'm alluding to that no one prepped him for. The Dave Portnoy situation and Deflategate from how many years ago now? Right?
But do you remember what the question was after the guy did the diatribe about Tom Brady? Like what his ultimate question was?
Ultimately said, more or less, paraphrasing, how do you guarantee the consistency of the air pressure in a game-used football?
Yes.
That's essentially what he wanted to know.
I thought he was going somewhere with some kind of gotcha question. Instead, he goes with this, so how can you guarantee those footballs are protected and their PSIs are accurate?
Right.
Like that was our end game? That's where you were going?
That was just stupid. Yeah. I mean, maybe that guy's up for re-election. Maybe he's from Boston. They guaranteed him re-election. I don't know. But the whole thing was just stupid. Much like playing Gleyber Torres at shortstop last night. And I told you exactly what was going to happen.
Oh, come on.
He was going to go 0-for, and the Yankees were going to lose.
Is that why Nestor Cortez was throwing batting practice?
No. It's the third time he's played the Rays in 10 days. That's why.
Okay.
All right. But my point is, I told you Gleyber would go 0-for, and I told you they would lose. Both things happened.
Did they lose because Gleyber played shortstop? Did they?
Did he get a hit?
No. It was 0-for-3.
Right.
If memory serves correct.
That's correct.
How did he play the position, though?
Yeah.
He played a clean game at shortstop.
Fine. No errors. Played fine.
No problem. How about the fact that, Aaron Judge is slumping and he came up and just missed it a game-tying home run? How about the fact that Giancarlo Stanton bounced into a big double play?
Huge double play.
How about the fact the heart of the
And by the
order
way,
did nothing in this game?
Great defensive play, too.
No, it's a great defensive play.
Let's give him a little credit. The guy made a great play.
So when you combine Giancarlo slumping, grounds into a huge double play, Rizzo did nothing, Donaldson did nothing, Cortez gave up a bunch of home runs.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with your boy playing shortstop.
But the point is, it turned out the way I said it would. That's the point.
Stop it.
I got one right.
That's a cheap victory.
I got one right. Listen, cheap victory, not cheap victory. Winners, losers. I went home last night a winner. That's all.
Your baseball team lost and you went home a winner?
That's right. That's exactly right.
That's sad, man.
So, remember I told you sometimes The hard thing to do, the unpopular thing to do, is to pick against the team you love.
Right.
Last night I did that. I was right. I'm the winner. Big winner.
Joey
big
Gallo's
winner.
over 3 with 2 strikeouts. Giancarlo Stanton's bouncing a double plays. His average is under 250. Nestor Cortez looked like he was human, but no.
Yeah.
Glaber played shortstop, ladies and
Graver
gentlemen.
played shortstop, didn't get a hit. Yankees lost by a run. You do the math.
So is this the beginning of the end for the Yankees?
Not the beginning of the end, beginning of a losing streak, yes. Yes. Yep. They've poisoned the well. 50-18 is going to be 50-19. You watch. Who's pitching tonight? Montgomery against Baz?
Jordan Montgomery against Shane Baz.
Another guy you never heard of, Shane Baz.
Have you heard of anybody on the Rays?
No.
Like, if I ask you right now without looking,
No.
name 2 players on the Tampa Bay
Well,
Rays.
I mean, I can now.
Can you?
Yeah.
Go.
Shane Baz.
That doesn't count.
Why not? He's on the Rays.
Because you just said you never heard of him.
Yeah, and then McClanahan, the guy that pitched last night.
Can you name anybody in the lineup? How about the guy with 3 home runs last night? Can you name him?
Oh, yeah, that guy. I believe it's a Latin American player.
Okay.
Okay, Spanish name. Bayerda.
What?
Yeah, I got him. Yeah.
I wasn't even
Yeah.
close.
Paraguay.
A little bit closer.
Paraida.
I mean, you're getting warmer.
Parayayada. Bairada. Churrascaria. Plataforma. Brazilian Steakhouse. What's the guy's name?
Isaac Paredes.
The guy that played for the Devils?
No, the guy played for the Rays.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Zach Parisi there
no,
for a second.
not quite.
Just checking. Here's Jimmy and Hazlitt. People are very upset that Evan eats his wings with a fork and knife today at our staff lunch. What's going on today, Jimmy?
Not much. I can't believe I'm on the air with Craig Carton and Evan Costanza.
Yes. The old, what was it, Snickers bar?
My one question for you, Evan,
Yes.
is do you actually eat Snickers bars with
Yeah.
fork and knife as well?
I hate Snickers bars. I think it's the most overrated candy bar in the history
That's
of
not
candy
the
bars.
question here. Don't distract from the question.
The only thing I truly eat with a fork and knife is when I'm in a position like I was today to have to eat wings. I don't want to eat off a bone. I'm a damn human being. Okay? The animal has been hunted. The animal has been killed.
Yeah.
The animal has been cooked. Usually we remove the things that we're not going to eat. Okay? So when food's on my plate, I like to eat everything on my plate. I think that's what most of us do. I'll ask you a simple question. Why the hell is there a bone involved?
Let me ask you a question.
What are you doing with the bone, Craig?
I'm throwing it out.
Oh, are you? Okay, so excuse me. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You're on the stand right now, sir.
You're not going to win this
Oh,
argument.
I will.
You can't.
If the right people call up today, I'll win this argument
Evan,
going
let me ask
away.
you a question.
What?
Have you ever gotten a family bucket of chicken from Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Not in a long time, no.
Ugh, that's the problem.
Is that-
Did you ever have ribs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
Fork and knife
Here's
on
the thing.
ribs?
Here's the thing, bro. In
You
all
go
seriousness,
fork and knife on ribs?
I love ribs. I
Yeah.
love it. I love the taste of it. I hate the process.
What's the process?
The process is eating off a freaking bone, dude.
Right.
I don't want to.
That's your DNA.
Why? Why? When food's on my plate, I want to eat it. I don't want to work.
So if given the option,
Yeah.
you would go boneless ribs,
Damn right I would.
boneless chicken wings.
Damn right.
Wow.
And you know what the thing is? Most people out there agree with me.
No, they don't.
But because of the
this societal
world we
pressure.
live in and the pressures in society,
Yeah.
I'm not a real man if I don't eat off a bone. I'll be bullied. You're afraid to admit it. Here's the difference.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or don't like
Yeah.
it, I am not afraid to admit how I feel. And when I'm sitting down and eating, I don't want to work. I don't want to eat off a bone. And to your point, I want to go back to you. So you throw the bone out when you're done.
Of course
So
you
why
do.
is the bone even there?
It's part of the chicken.
Hey.
Why does it have to be there? Remove the meat, put it on your plate, eat. The bone's thrown out.
Because
You
that's
like-
not a chicken wing.
Do you eat eyeballs?
I do not
Why
eat
not?
eyeballs.
It's a part
Do
of
you eat corn on the
animal.
cob?
I hate that too. I admit it.
So you'll carve the corn kernels off the cob? Or no?
A little bit of both, to be honest with you. There
Okay.
are times in which I suck it up,
Yeah.
like I did at the end of this meal.
Right.
At the end of the meal, I wanted the meat, so
Do
what
you
did I
eat-
do? I
do you
picked
eat
it up.
apple
That's
cores?
because but to be fair, you only picked it up because I called you
Had
out
nothing
on
to do
it.
with you. I'm going to tell you what happened. I was frustrated by the fact I couldn't get all the
But
meat
I
off.
said to you, Evan, if you put the fork and knife down, it's easier to get the meat off with your mouth.
And you know what I said? Did you hear what I said?
You put it in your mouth.
This is why I don't get why you people like bones. I'd order boneless. Even Big Mac acknowledged I said that. I did it because I wanted the meat. Just like, sometimes when I eat corn on a cob, it's too much of a pain in the ass to kind of get the corn off. So I do it, but I don't like it.
Like a child.
I don't like it.
He holds the cob up and knives down, knife down. Yeah.
Bro, I'm an old man now. I'm 38 years old, about to be 39. I know what I want. I know what I don't like. And I'll say it from the loudest microphone. I don't want to eat off a bone. And I don't get why you guys want to.
Let me ask you a question.
Makes no sense to me.
Let me ask you this question.
What?
You go to a steakhouse.
Yeah.
They've got filet. They've got filet on the bone.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Which one are you getting?
The one that ain't connected to the freaking bone.
So the one that doesn't taste as good.
Yeah, and I acknowledge that maybe I run into that issue, but I don't want to eat off a bone.
So you come to my house for barbecue.
Yeah.
And there's 3 racks of ribs on the table.
Yeah.
Help yourself style.
Yeah.
Fall off the bone moist.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't taking them.
Hesitate. Depends how hungry I am. Because I like the meat. Like I'm admitting this to you, Craig. I love rib, but I don't want to sit there and eat off a bone.
So you love McDonald's when they come out every year with their boneless ribs.
Boneless ribs is
sandwich.
Boneless ribs a brilliant idea. Admit it. Because there are more people like us than you guys want to admit. It's just that the social norms don't allow us to open our mouths. But don't worry, guys. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of being mocked. I'm not afraid of being judged.
All I know is that Big Mac, I looked up. I saw Evan using the fork and knife. I got Big Mac's eyeball attention. I nodded over to Evan.
I've never seen anything like it. I have honestly never seen anyone to the drumstick wing try and take it apart. It's impossible to get your fork and knife on there.
Big Mac, I get it. And then when I picked it up,
even try it.
It was a reminder of how much I hate it. My hands are all greasy. It's just dirty. It's messy. Who wants to deal with that?
Somebody eats wings.
Ugh.
Yeah, like it's part of the deal. Ugh. When you order a dozen wings, that comes with the territory.
I don't like the deal.
A wet nap, a napkin, and the understanding that it's going to be all over the place.
I don't want to work hard when I eat.
Yeah,
I want it to be easy. I want to put the meat in my mouth. I want to chew on it, and I want to smile. Yeah. I don't want to have to bite off a bone. Sorry.
Do you like crabs?
I love crab meat. I don't like working. Dude, it's the same thing. I completely agree.
You like lobster?
Same thing. Love the meat.
Yeah.
Love it. I don't want to have to freaking rip a weak, like whatever that thing is called off.
Yeah.
Like its leg.
Claw.
A claw.
Yeah.
You think I want to do that? And by the way, Craig, in all seriousness.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that?
That's the joy of doing it.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought the joy of eating was eating.
No, when you go to eat certain foods, part of it is using your hands.
Why?
Because it's in our DNA. We're
Is
cavemen.
it in our DNA?
It's in my DNA.
Our generations haven't been cavemen in like 500 generations. It goes back a long ways.
Yeah, but it's still in our blood.
We're different now.
It's in our blood.
Really?
Yes.
When we were doing that, weren't we apes essentially?
Apes?
Yes.
No, we were cavemen.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah. We invented the wheel. And fire, by the way. Just put it out there for you, buddy.
I'm over it.
I was so disgusted. I'm so glad Big Mac was at lunch with us.
Did you not look at...
Because he and I connected in a manner we've never connected before.
It was a silence that we all knew what we were talking about.
Yeah.
It was
disgusting.
Why was Loogie not involved in this at all? Like, did he not have that connection with you?
He did not.
Why?
I don't know. He disappointed me at lunch. He didn't speak, really.
I thought this was a good moment for you guys to bond as well.
That's why I invited everybody out to lunch. I thought it'd be a good chance to get out of the office. I told them to come with any grievances they had. They had none. I asked them their hopes and aspirations. None.
No, Big Mac had a grievance already. Remember, he filed out the grievance that we don't break enough.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's true.
And he didn't even hesitate. As soon as we said, all right, let's go to the grievances.
He did have that.
Slight hesitation. It was like a split segment for Big Mac's like, well, it would be nice if you guys broke every once in a while.
Actually, no, that's not. It's not so much the not breaking. It's the then questioning the length of other breaks when we finally do break.
Let's take a break so we don't have to have that problem later today. Coming up, you're a diehard Yankee fan. When Aaron Judge swung the bat, be honest, did you think the ball was out? I did.